What is up, my veggies? My name is VeggieTales Raymond, and welcome back to another Top 12. Today we're going to be counting down the top 12 movies of 2017. Let's get straight into it. Number 12, the Lego Ninjago movie. The second Lego movie we got this year. This movie came out of nowhere. I was not expecting this to be released this year. I heard about it, but I did not think it was coming out this year. Which it honestly wasn't a bad film, because I rather enjoyed this movie. But it was a bit of a letdown because it didn't hold up to the hype I had for it. I didn't have a lot of hype for it, but it didn't hold up to the hype I had. It didn't hold up to a lot of people's hype. This is like I said in my review, this is probably the worst of the 3 Lego movies that have been released. But that does not mean it's a bad movie. The story is okay. It's kind of similar to stuff we've seen before, but it's not a bad movie. I'd very much recommend giving it a watch. And yeah. Number 11, Beauty and the Beast 2017. I absolutely loved this movie. The characters were amazing. The CGI that was used was really good. The songs were amazing. And this movie was just hands down, it had a great feel to it, and it was just probably one of my favorite Disney movies in the past few years. Because I was always a huge fan of the original Beauty and the Beast, and this just made me appreciate that a lot more and gave me a lot of love for this one and made me want to watch some of the other live-action Disney movies that I have not seen, like Cinderella. So I'd very much recommend giving this a watch because it is really good. Number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I actually did not think I'd get around to seeing this movie because I did not see the first movie, but I managed to watch it before I went and saw this one, and this one was amazing, especially on the big screen. The movie had a lot of emotion, and it was a great follow-up to the first film. You get to get a lot more background on Star-Lord and all that, and about his family, about his parents, and we get to see all these great characters again: Rocket, Drax, Groot, Gamora, and all these characters, and some new characters too, and there are other returning characters. And there's a lot of funny scenes in this, which I really love. Rocket really brings a lot of the funny lines in this movie. And this is just a good movie to sit down and enjoy for some action and some laughs and for a lot of different reasons. Because I believe in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far, the Guardians of the Galaxy have been some of my favorite movies so far. And it's just this movie it's just fantastic. I cannot lie. I loved this movie. Number 9, Coco. This movie was just a complete joy. Just the animation really sold this movie. The heart to this movie, the characters. This movie had a lot going for it. The music, and this was on my watch list. I really wanted to see this movie. I wasn't as excited about it as other films that I went and saw this year, but this one was one of my favorites that I saw this year. It really it's just I don't know what really to say about it. This movie was so much better than I thought it was gonna be, and it was a lot of fun to see another movie that talked about the Day of the Dead, which we've only had 2 animated films that have done that to my knowledge. But this movie is really good, and that's the reason why it's on this list, and I'm glad I saw it. Number 8, SpiderMan Homecoming. Definitely the best Spider-Man movie by far. You get everything in this movie. You get probably the best Spider-Man we've ever seen. We get Iron Man. We get it's just such a great film. I love the new suit. I love the story of this film. The villain was okay. He wasn't a jaw-dropping villain, but it was still a good movie. I would definitely go see this again. I want to get my hands on the DVD. Haven't done that yet, though. This movie, it was actually had more to it than I thought it would, because I believe I stayed after the credits and saw the after credits scene, which I thought was pretty funny. And I liked this Spider-Man film a lot more because the Spider-Man was more jokey than in the other ones, because that was kind of Spider-Man's thing in comics and stuff, that he was always jokey and stuff like that, and I always liked that about Spider-Man. And yeah, number 7, Wonder Woman. This movie was crazy awesome. I loved the actress that got to play Wonder Woman. I loved the atmosphere of the film. I liked that it was an origin story. I didn't think I was going to like it so much because of it being an origin story. But this movie was amazing. And I saw this with my buddy Will, and we both loved it. And I reviewed it on the channel, by the way. But this movie was fantastic. The visuals were amazing. I don't think there's a lot of CGI in this movie. There is CGI, but I don't think there's a lot. And I actually really like that there's not a lot of CGI in this film. And yeah, I think it's really neat the way they focus on the movie, and they keep the focus. Like, the focus stays the same most of the movie. Like, and I love some of the facts about Wonder Woman trying to adjust to everything else, and it's a really, really interesting story to see happen. And the stuff with the Amazons, I think that's what they're called, is a little slow, but it's still entertaining enough to get through. So yeah, number 6, Justice League. This movie is awesome. It does very good at immersing you into the world, and you really want to see these characters succeed in what they're doing. And just the fact that this is something we've been wanting to see for years. The Justice League live-action film on the big screen. This is something we've all been wanting to see for years, and I'm so glad we finally got it this year. It was such a great film. Everything about it I loved. I wasn't trying to nitpick flaws that much, except for small, tiny things. But this movie was amazing. I don't even know what much to say about it. I haven't already said in my review. But this is probably my favorite movie in the DC Cinematic Universe so far. Or it's probably tied with Suicide Squad. But yeah. Number 5, It 2017. Boy, was this movie awesome and creepy, and just everything I wanted out of this movie was in this movie. I was so excited when I went to go see it. I was scared. I was creeped out. I loved it so much. I cannot wait to own this movie for myself so I can watch it over and over again. And it is still probably one of my favorite modern horror films. I would say this was the best horror film of this year, because I wasn't able to see Jigsaw, but this movie was amazing, and I'm so glad I got to see it, and I'm so glad it came out sooner than later, because this movie is just amazing. It's such a great horror film. It's such a good remake of It. I loved it so much. Number 4, the Lego Batman movie, which personally I liked more than the Lego movie, which is awesome because this movie was hilarious, had good action, had a good message, and I don't know why, but this just felt so much fun, more fun to sit through than the first movie. Than the first Lego movie. Don't get me wrong, I love the first Lego movie, and I love this one just a tad bit more. It's just there's so many references in this film, and just so much hidden and just so much amazingness that is I can't even comprehend with how much I love this film. There were so many stabs at their own franchises, and it's just awesome, and I loved it so much. Number 3, Wonder. This movie was amazing. Seeing one of the best books I've ever read adapted into a film that was accurate to the original source material was just phenomenal. It was such a great movie. I loved it. This is hopefully will become a cult classic in the future because this is a good movie. I will not lie. I would watch this again and again and again. It was such a good film. Before I get to the number 2 spot, I have a few dishonorable mentions. First dishonorable mention, the Emoji Movie. This movie does not deserve to be on this list. It was not a good movie. I did not enjoy it. It was crazy. It was stupid. It was a dumb idea. And, I'm not even going to get into all that. But yeah, this was a dumb movie. My second dishonorable mention is Death Note. Netflix's Death Note. This movie wasn't good. I had some expectations for it to be good, and it let me down. This was not a good movie. I did not enjoy it. But I have only viewed it one time. I will give it another view in the future, but as of right now, this was not a good movie, in my opinion. Now that those dishonorable mentions are out of the way, here is number 2, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. This movie was amazing. It was going to take the final spot, but I decided to put something else there. But this movie was fantastic. I loved it. It lived up to the hype. I was so hyped for this movie. It lived up. It was crazy. I did a whole review on this movie. It was fantastic. Mwah. I loved it. I would watch it a million more times. I want to get it on DVD or Blu-ray. I already have The Force Awakens on DVD. I got to get this to go along with it. And, even though it just came out the past Friday, but dang, I already want to own it on Blu-ray. And before we get to the number 1 spot, here are some honorable mentions. First honorable mention, Descendants 2. Now, this is a decent movie. I didn't feel like I should put it on the list, but it was still a pretty darn good movie. I rather enjoyed it. Definitely, I don't think it was as good as the first Descendants, but it was still an okay movie. I would definitely watch it again. But I didn't think there was a spot for it on this list, so yeah. And the second honorable mention is Power Rangers 2017. I really wanted to put this on the list somewhere, but there were so many other movies that I thought needed to be on the list, but that does not mean I didn't enjoy this movie any less. It was a good movie. I'm glad I saw it. I'm not big on the Power Rangers, but this movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. And our number 1 spot, you guys probably saw this coming, My Little Pony, the movie. I saw this movie 3 times. I liked it so much. The animation was flawless. The story was good. The new characters I really liked. The music was awesome. It was good to see a pony movie with the ponies and not Equestria Girls for once. Don't get me wrong, I like the Equestria Girls movies, but this was phenomenal. I love it. I hope we get more MLP movies in the future, at least one more like this one. Hopefully we'll get another one in the future. But yeah, this is just, I am so glad I saw this movie. And you shouldn't be surprised this is number 1. I was really debating on putting this at number 1 or Star Wars. I had no idea which one, but I feel like since I went and saw this 3 times, I enjoyed it that much, I should put this at number 1. And that was my top 12 movies of 2017. I cannot wait to see what next year holds for us. This movie, I doubt next year will be able to top this year because we had so many good films this year. Let's hope they can. See what they got for us next year. And yeah, so guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please tap the like button down below. Subscribe, leave me a comment, and link to my Twitter, Instagram, DeviantArt, Tumblr, Dailymotion, Twitch, and Musically will all be linked down in the description below. And do not forget to hit the notification button so you will be notified when I upload videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!